Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central. NFL rosters have to be cut down from 90 to 85. The New Orleans Saints have already hit that number. Here's Sean Fazand, our friend on Twitter. Saints are now at 85. They have waived injured kicker Brett Maher. They've cut Prince Amukamara and Noah Spence. They've waived running back Stevie Scott. And offensive tackle Kyle Murphy has gone to IR. So those are the 5 moves there. Brett Maher, Prince Amukamara, Noah Spence, Stevie Scott, and Kyle Murphy. I'd hate to see the Stevie Scott news. I've just been such a big fan for so long. Huge fan.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You literally looked at me during the break and said, "Who is Stevie Scott?"
Not true.
Yeah, it is very true.
False.
You said those are your words.
False. You're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
How can you sleep at night, Muso?
Comfortably.
Stevie Scott from Syracuse, New York.
No.
Played at Indiana.
Stop it.
He wore number 8.
You don't know
Brody
Stevie
Miller.
Scott.
Brody Miller's an Indiana Hoosier. I sat next to T-Bob for pregame for 5 years, where he'd always talk about Indiana and only mention Brody Miller. So we watched so much Indiana football because of Brody. And yes, Stevie Scott.
It's not a thing.
He'll catch on. So he's, by the way, Stevie Scott III. His dad is Stevie Scott II.
Or junior.
And his grandfather is the third. I mean, is the first.
Nope.
He's the third. He is Stevie Scott. He's the third. Yeah. Man, hate to hear that.
You're the worst.
Big back, too. 6'2", 231, really big guy. When you stand next to him, he looks even bigger than that, as he and I have stood next to each other many times.
Never met him.
All the time. We're great friends. He's been over to the house. Stevie Scott. Hate to see him go. Was really pulling for him. That was a disgusting He's going to catch on somewhere else. Muso.
I mean, maybe, sure, and
he's
best of luck to him.
Else.
But you don't know him. You've never met him. Never heard of him.
It's untrue. So there's obviously 3 very notable names here. Prince Amukamara, Noah Spence. Noah Spence is interesting because if you remember Noah Spence, he was a big-time edge rusher, started his career at Ohio State, got kicked off the team, went to, I think, Eastern Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. Finished his career there, was a 2nd or 3rd round pick maybe of, he went 39th overall. 2nd round pick, went 39th overall, early 2nd round to the Bucks back in 2016. Had some injury issues, just never caught on. The Saints were super interested in him that year in the draft. And anyway, it just hasn't really worked out for Noah Spence for a variety of reasons. They gave him another go this year. And I look at that and I say, man, that's actually really indicative of how confident the Saints must be right now with their edge rushers. Because you got Cam Jordan. And even after losing Trey Hendrickson in free agency, Marcus Davenport against the Ravens was unblockable. He had 5 pressures. There was he didn't have a sack, but that's a great indicator, right? Whenever you don't have a sack, but everyone notices you, it's because he was harassing the quarterback all night. Carl Granderson played well, and Peyton Turner has been really impressive early in camp, and I've told you my feeling is he'll play inside and out. We even saw on Saturday David Onyemata play some at defensive end in a 3-down lineman look. So they're good there. The other thing is Prince Amukamara, who has only been in New Orleans for a blink, but listen, if you watch the game against the Ravens, it was noticeable. Prince Amukamara was just playing in slow motion. On the touchdown, on the pass into the end zone, the only thing he could do, I think it was on the 2-point conversion, the only thing he could do to stop it was just tackle the receiver. it's just clear he's not at that speed anymore. And stay with me here, but it actually kind of is a little bit of a sigh of relief, because wouldn't it? So Prince Amukamara is a former first-round pick and it had a nice run with the Giants and the Bears, and he got cut. But wouldn't it be more concerning if a guy who didn't play last year off the street came in and was beating out your third-round pick, Paulson Adebo? Wouldn't that be a little more concerning? The fact that they can look at Prince Amukamara and say, yeah, no, in some respects says, okay, good. We know Adebo is better than him right now. The obvious concern is you signed Prince Amukamara because you worked him out and thought he was the best option. Remember, you previously worked out Dre Kirkpatrick, and he didn't get a contract. We've talked a lot about Richard Sherman, but considering his off-the-field issue, is he off the table now? You just don't have a great option. And we're all assuming that Marshawn Lattimore is going to face suspension. It still hasn't come, so fingers crossed. But are you really comfortable going into a season opener against Aaron Rodgers with Ken Crowley and Paulson Adebo as your outside cornerbacks? Not really. Not at all. But at least you know what you have is better. Look, I'm trying here, y'all. I am really trying here. But at least you know what you have is a better option than Prince Amukamara. And then Brett Maher is a little concerning as well. You know, the Will Lutz injury sucks. There's no other way to say that, man. That just sucks. I mean, he had stabilized that position. I know he had a rough spell at points last year, but seemed to have gotten it together in the playoffs and is still one of the most accurate field goal kickers in history at 86%. Brett Maher, the last time he kicked for Dallas, was 80%. So, I mean, you went and worked out kickers, and Maher is the one that got a contract. The fact that he's now out is even more concerning because the guy among the, I hate to say it this way, but the scrap heap, the cuts, the free agents that you signed is now not available. So it would be a much better scenario if you were waiving Brett Maher because you had a better option. You would rather on cut down day be cutting guys who weren't going to make the team because you had a better option. You're waiving a running back today. You're waiving Stevie Scott today because Tony Jones balled out. And honestly, at this point, you have got to consider Tony Jones as the number 3 back on this team behind Kamara and Latavius Murray.
Present.
Do it again.
Murray, present.
I mean, Devontae Freeman, I love the idea of signing Devontae Freeman, but when you go play it out on the field and you see how it played out, it just makes sense. One guy's better. Brett Maher is the guy that got the contract. Now I don't know what direction they go, but they'll certainly be working out kickers if they've got updated scouting reports. But the Saints and all NFL teams by Tuesday at 4 Eastern had to have their rosters from 90 to 85, and the Saints are now there. If you're wondering, the next 2 Tuesdays are the other cut-down days. So next Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern, they have to be go from 85 to 80. And then the following Tuesday, the 31st, they've got to go from 80 all the way down to 53. That's the Tuesday after the week 3 of the preseason. So Saints are on their way down with roster cuts, but a couple of those decisions were made easy. Saints do play on Monday Night Football next week against Jacksonville in the Dome, first preseason home game. We'll get a much better look at where Jameis Winston's going to start that game, and we'll see where the roster cuts stand after the second preseason game. But they've started that process as of right now. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.